Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from Group 4 X2 SMA Negeri Unggulan Muhammad Husni Thamrin. So in this opportunity, we're going to present about cell structure.
Before we start, let us introduce ourselves.
My name is Addia Lubna Humairaa Mulyawan, absent 1.
My name is Amelia Chantiqa Dewi, absent 5.
My name is Michiko Angelique Jap, absent 15.
So the first one we discussed about detailed cell structure. Okay, in cell structure, there is centriole, mitochondrion, plasma membrane, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, cytoskeleton, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic, vesicle, ribosomes, nucleus, nucleolus, lysosome, cytoplasm, vacuole, and for the detailed function, we can discuss it in the next chapter. Okay, in this chapter, we will discuss about structure and function of the organelles. So the first one is plasma membrane. All cells are surrounded by a very thin plasma membrane. It is partially permeable and controls the exchange of materials between the cell and its environment. This layer is protect cells. The plasma membrane lets certain things into the cell that it needs but keeps other things out. Animal cells simply have a cell membrane but not cell wall. Okay, next, that is nucleus. The nucleus has our DNA that contains all our genetic information. The DNA is found on structures in the nucleus called chromosomes. There are 23 pairs or 46 total of chromosomes in each nucleus of each cell. The nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane, which controls what goes in and out. In nucleus, there is nucleolus that the main function is production of subunits, which then together with ribosomes. Okay, the third one, there is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is all of the material within a eukaryotic cell enclosed by the cell membrane except for the cell nucleus. The cytoplasm is the site for most of the enzymatic reactions and metabolic activity of the cell. Okay. Next, mitochondria. The main function of mitochondria is produce the energy currency of the cell, ATP, through respiration and to regulate cellular metabolism. Mitochondria have a double membrane that folds in on itself, forming little finger-like projection called cristae. Inside is a gel-like matrix with enzymes that break down sugars to make ATP, which is used by the cell as energy. Thus, very important organelles contain their own DNA, and ribosomes reproduce by division and can even produce some of their own proteins. The next one is Golgi apparatus. The function of Golgi apparatus is processing and packaging proteins that have exited the root endoplasmic reticulum to be further transported inside and or outside the cell. Okay, next is vacuole. The term vacuole means empty space. They help in the storage and disposal of various substances. They can store food or other nutrients required by a cell to survive. They also store waste products and prevent the entire cell from contamination. The vacuoles are completely filled with water and exert force on the cell wall. This is known as turgor pressure. It provides shape to the cell and helps it to withstand extreme condition. Okay, next is chloroplast. Chloroplast only present in plant cell. The most important function of the chloroplast is to synthesize food by the process of photosynthesis, absorbs light energy and converts it into chemical energy. Chloroplast has a structure called chlorophyll, which functions by trapping the solar energy and is used for the synthesis of food in all green plants, produces NADPH and molecular oxygen O2 by photolysis of water, produces ATP adenosine triphosphate by the process of photosynthesis. The carbon dioxide or CO2 obtained from the air is used to generate carbon and sugar during the Calvin cycle or the reaction of photosynthesis. Next is ribosomes. Ribosomes are minute particles consisting of RNA and associated proteins that function to synthesize proteins. Next is vesicle. The function of vesicles are organelles and the small enclosed sacs that comprise them that transport and store substances within a cell from one cell to another. Next is rogue ER. The site of protein synthesis for external use, it also plays an important role in modulating the response of cell to stress and in quality control for correct protein folding. Next one is smooth ER. Smooth ER is responsible for the synthesis of essential lipids such as phospholipids and cholesterol. Smooth ER is also responsible for the production and secretion of steroid hormones. It is also responsible for the metabolism of carbohydrates. The smooth ER store and release calcium ions. Next is cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton extends throughout the cell's cytoplasm and directs a number of important functions. It helps the cell maintain its shape and gives support to the cell. The last one is centriole. Centriole are only present in animal cells but not in plant cells. In spite of being devoid of DNA, the centrioles are capable of forming new centrioles. They can be transformed into basal bodies. Centriole helps in organizing the mitotic spindle and complete the process of cytokinesis.
The third is endosymbiont theory. What is endosymbiont theory? There is a theory that states that eukaryotic organisms originated from the evolution of single-celled prokaryotic organisms. This theory is called endosymbiosis, which can explain the origin of membrane-bound organelles in eukaryotes such as mitochondria and chloroplasts. The word endosymbiosis comes from the Greek. Endo means inside, sym means together, bio means life. Endosymbiosis means living together inside. This refers to the process of endosymbiosis itself. A photosynthetic prokaryotic organism that is swallowed by a larger organism as prey. But the prokaryotic cell is not destroyed or dispersed, and instead survives in its host like a parasite. Alert! There's fun fact. The host cell and prokaryotic cell that has then undergone a symbiosis in which the prokaryotic cell transfers its DNA to the nucleus of the host cell, so that prokaryotic cells or cyanobacteria depend on the host to survive. After a long time, cyanobacteria lose some of their functions and turn into chloroplast organelles in their host cells. This is what is called an endosymbiotic event, where in the end, the host cell and prokaryotic cell become an inseparable unit.
The last one is prokaryote structure. So this is the structure of prokaryote. There is capsule, cell wall, plasma membrane, cytoplasm, ribosomes, plasmid, pili, bacterial flagellum, and nucleoid or circular DNA. So this is the structure and function of prokaryote. The first one is capsule. Found in some bacterial cells, this additional outer covering protects the cell when it is engulfed by other organisms, assists in retaining moisture, and helps the cell adhere to surface and nutrients. The second one is cell wall. The cell wall is an outer covering that protects the bacterial cell and gives its shape. The third one is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a gel-like substance composed mainly of water that also contains enzymes, salts, cell components, and various organic molecules. The next one is cell membrane or plasma membrane. The cell membrane surrounds the cell cytoplasm and regulates the flow of substance in and out of the cell. And then there is pili or pilus singular, hair-like structures on the surface of the cell that attack two other bacterial cells. Shorter pili, called fimbriae, help bacteria attack two surface. And then there is flagella. Flagella are long, whip-like protrusions that aid in cellular locomotion. And there is ribosomes. Ribosomes are cell structure responsible for protein production. And then there is plasmids. Plasmids are gene-carrying circular DNA structures that are not involved in reproduction. And the last one is nucleoid region, area of the cytoplasm that contains the single bacterial DNA molecule. And there is fun fact. Prokaryotic cells, like organelles found in eukaryotic cells such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticuli, and Golgi complex. According to the endosymbiotic theory, eukaryotic organelles are thought to have evolved from prokaryotic cells living in endosymbiotic relationship with one another. So that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.